Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 13 of Techopolis. In the last episode, we ended off on a special cliffhanger with the Nether teleporter. So today, let's go see what the Nether looks like. We have a waystone ready to go over here so we can teleport home. We have a waystone that we'll put in the Nether, and I assume we just right-click this. Huzzah! Okay, is it a one-time use thing? And is the Nether just a normal Nether? Looks like it's a normal Nether. We need to find some stuff, I think. I'm assuming we can mine some glowstone, right? Or not. I have a silk touch pick. Okay. So that's not gonna happen. I don't know how to collect resources in here. It's very vague on how you get stuff done over here. I haven't made a miner, and all of the ores that we can get, we can buy in the shop, but the shop, if we take out the market, I have it in here. The shop requires nether technium, I believe. Yeah, we need one nether technium ingot to buy the nether ores, which is super weird. Ooh, I guess I have to make the miner, bring it here, and it's gonna get the ore until I can buy and make another. Yeah, okay, I get it, what I need. Okay, so we need to make the miner of the next tier. So tier 5 miner, I'm gonna make 4 of them because we need glowstone, we need cobalt and end crystals, and also the ancient debris. So we need to go find, like, there's ores down there. I think that's ancient debris. So we have to go down there and actually put the miner on top, and then it's gonna mine us the ore. And we then have to wait to get enough so we can make a couple nether technium ingots, and we can actually buy ores that we can place. I assume that is how this part is gonna work. I need to go find some blackstone so we can get the flying ring, which is gonna make it very, very easy to fly in the Nether. For the moment, I can't see any blackstone, so maybe I'll just go into the roof and try and find some blackstone. Maybe find a basalt delta biome, possibly. I managed to find a basalt delta, and here we have some blackstone which we can collect, and with this blackstone we are able to make ourselves the ascended ring for flight, which means we have infinite flight everywhere, because this required ascended blackstone, which is polished blackstone bricks, which is polished blackstone, which we can make like so. And then we need, I would say 16 of these would be the right math, which again we don't have enough blackstone, so hold on, another 8 should do, and then we can get ourselves the flight course. Oh, we need netherite. Need netherite ingots. Okay, so we need to get ancient debris going. We need netherite scrap, which we can get through the whole ancient debris clumps. So I guess we have to go down and see if we can find some ancient debris ore. One thing that I want to put over here where we kind of teleported to the Nether, I want to put down the waystone and a mega torch. And now if I probably go back home, monsters should despawn, and then we can go back into the Nether, and we should possibly be left off with no hostile mobs. Well, when they despawn, I assume, but I think that's Nether ancient debris thing, right? So if I traverse my way kind of down there somehow, there we go, we made it over here. So if I put this over here, are you gonna start mining? Do you have enough things? It says idle. Well, this is not working. I am at a loss. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would have to check if these are 3 deep, but they, I guess, should be. I don't know. I mean, I can try that one as well and see if that one's gonna work. We got it working. Ancient debris clumps. Give me an ultimate technium ingot, thank you. Okay, so these I can put in a crusher to get dirty netherite scrap, which then I need to put into the enrichment chamber. Okay, so I'm just gonna make an enrichment chamber and a metallurgy confuser thing or whatever we need for this. And we can a crusher, that's the one. And we're just gonna process it here and get netherite scrap, make a netherite ingot, and then we're gonna make the ring that we need, because then it's gonna be much easier to go find ores like that, or glowstone or anything. And simple as that, we have a crusher that we can toss in the ancient debris clumps, like so. We have an enrichment chamber, which is making netherite scrap, and we have this guy making us netherite ingots. So if I grab a bit more gold, we can get a bit more going over here, and that is pretty cool. We have 16 of these, and now the ring should be craftable for us. 1, 2, 3, 4 flight cores, And then the ring. Huzzah! And if we put the ring into our flight slot, in the ring slot, we should be able to fly over here. Awesome. One thing that we can totally do is we can move these ores with pistons, right? So for example, if I place some pistons down, possibly like this, and then we power all of them, we can get the ores into a 3x3 thingy. So all I need is to fill in the gap with 2 ores here. So that should be easy enough. There we go. We now have a 3x3 of cobalt. And I assume if I put this on, this should start working. Nice. Now for glowstone, let's go up here and move this into a 3x3 as well, while we wait for cobalt to process down below. Well, this was more work than I hoped for, but I think this should now work, and we should be getting glowstone. And once we have enough to make 27 blocks, we should be good. I think it makes glowstone. Oh, it makes glowstone blocks. Okay, so that's going to be quick. Okay, cool. So have an ultimate technium to be a little bit quicker. And let's go work on the cobalt that we have down here and see if we can start processing this. Yeah, 41. Let's get also an ultimate technium ingot into this one, like so. So you start working a little bit quicker. And the cobalt clusters I can process possibly the same way. Pulverizer works. Okay, pulverizer redstone furnace, I guess, is gonna be the solution here. We need to get nether technium, basically. And for nether technium, we need to get end crystal ingots. We need netherite ingots, 16 of them. We need 8 hepatizin, 8 shroomlights, 16 manulin, and an ultimate technium ingot. So, or ultimate technium plate. So the hepatizin is 1 cobalt, 4 nether quartz, and copper. So we need just a bunch of cobalt, right? 2 hepatizin, we need 8 of these. We need 24 of these. And then we need almost a stack of netherite ingots and 24 of these, which is the end crystal ore, which I assume spawns somewhere. And we are able to find it, hopefully, somewhere in this nethery wastes. Here it is. Okay. Let's see if there's a 3x3 area of this where this is going to work. There is. And I got it first try. Nice. The miner for glowstone in the nether has produced enough that we can place it down here in a 3x3, which means that this guy can now work over here and get us pretty much infinite glowstone, which we're gonna just store in a compacting drawer. And if we toss on a storage bus and not type in the sign, we should be pretty much good on infinite glowstone for ever and ever. And we're just gonna hide it like this. I put skystone, right? Yeah. Let's put skystone in the middle. And apparently we can't make facades out of glowstone. We can make them out of refined glowstone. So I guess we'll just break all of this glowstone that is over here. And once we have refined glowstone, we're going to cover it with that. Because I have the storage bus over here, which I have to cover with something. And nothing from this chisel mod works for making facades other than covers for refined storage. And while we're on the topic of refined glowstone, let's automate it now that we have glowstone being produced. So I have the osmium compressor prepared here, and I have everything hooked up with XNet over here. So I have this controller, and I need to figure out which drawer is which and which compressor is what. I think this should be the one, yeah, on the left, and we can start getting it automated. And here we go. We have glowstone being exported, osmium being exported, and it's making refined glowstone ingots. And if we go back here and set up a redstone control for 2000, I think I have to set this to 2000 as well. This should work normally, and we have to set this on normal redstone detection mode, so it's actually gonna stop. For auto-processing cobalt ingots, temporarily, I just tossed down a pulverizer and a redstone furnace and an ender chest, and it's going directly into our system, and it has been running for a while, and we have 382 cobalt ingots now. And over here, down below, I did set up a crusher, enrichment chamber, induction smelter to directly make netherite ingots, and I'm just gonna let it go until I run out of gold in this drawer, and we're gonna pick up everything over here, including that miner and also all of this, once we get 3 netherite ingots so we can buy the ores in the market. One of the components for nether technium ingots is the end crystal ingot, which in turn requires lumium ingots, which we can now make because we have refined glowstone ingots. So over here, I have prepared spots for lumium, inderium, and end crystal ingots. So let's automate all of these, even though these won't be made until we get an infinite supply of these crystals, once we get Nether technium and we can actually place a miner in the base. So lumium is made with refined obsidian, silver dust, and tin dust, which we will add to our exporter with a round robin mode like that. And then we can set up an auto input into the induction smelter. Auto output down below. It has all the augments, and we can grab a little bit of lumium, toss it in here, quantify the drawer, and set up a recipe for 2000 lumium always in the system, and we can set it to redstone mode high. The next thing that we need is nether quartz, end crystals, and lumium to combine them into end crystal ingots. To automate enderium ingots, we need ender dust, lead dust, and diamond dust. And ender dust is easily gotten with a crusher or a pulverizer if I click on the thermal series version, which is just going to be ender pearls pulverized to ender pearl dust. So that is as simple as adding an auto input, auto output over here. And we toss in the ender pearl dust, and we're going to set it, I think, let's set it to 2000. We're going to just store a bunch of it, and then redstone high, emit when levels are below. There we go. So that should do its thing and get us 2000 ender pearl dust. We can then toss it in this export bus over here, and if we set up the induction smelter with an auto input, auto output, we should start getting enderium ingots. We will also set this guy to redstone control high and give this 2000 emit when levels are below limit. If we set an auto input on this induction smelter and an auto output, we should be making hepatizin ingot, which is one of the last alloys that we need for this pack, I believe, even. So that should do its thing. And then if we set up an auto input here, I think it might only make one set of manulin. Yeah, that's only one, because we only have one netherite scrap. I went back to the nether to pick up all of our miners and all of the machines, and before picking them up, I waited for the enrichment chamber and the crusher to make a bit more netherite scrap, and that turned into 160 manulin ingots. So that should be enough to get us the 3 nether technium ingots that we need to get us started with actually mining the ores down here in the base. So over here in this room, I have started preparing for the nether technium ingot, the end technium ingot, and the final technium ingot. And I also tossed together this. It isn't automated, it's just the machines in place. I think we're gonna set up our tech bucks generation over here, but we're gonna do that in a little bit. First and foremost, we're gonna automate blazing blood somewhere else. We're not gonna do it in here because we need this space for redstone control in the future. But for the moment, this is just gonna make a bit of blazing blood that can go into the resource combiner. And I'm gonna grab all the things that I need. And if I toss this in here, we should start making nether technium. Why are you not doing your thing? Do you have to be set up in the nether? Please don't. It says to mention Minecraft nether. And this has to be set up in the end. Well, that's annoying. Now I can't have it set up over here. Okay, I think I'm gonna go into the configs and see if I can change this so I can set it up over here, because that's... Why would that be the case? You have to go to the nether to mine everything, but why would I have to set up specifically just those 3 blocks or whatever in the nether? As you can see, we have 3 nether technium ingots. I managed to find the recipe, and I just deleted a line that said dimension whitelist, and it's whitelisting no dimension now, so it works in any dimension. So if I toss another one of these, we should get another nether technium. Yeah, there we go. It works, and I deleted it for the ultimate technium, or sorry, the end technium as well. And I really think that having the resource combiner in the nether doesn't really add that much difficulty or challenge to the pack. It's more or less annoying because you have to go through to the nether, you have to place the miners like we did in today's episode, you have to get them all in a 3x3 space. So I did all the work to get to the nether technium, and then having the resource combiner in the nether is just an annoyance other than challenge, really. Because automating the resource combiner in the nether means that I can have an ender chest over here, we can export the amount of items that we need, or all the 6 items that we need in certain quantities with XNet to the ender chest. We can then put it in the resource combiner in the nether, and then we export the nether technium into the overworld again. So that would be the only thing that we would need to do. And I'd rather have it work over here super easily because it's just annoying. So we're going to do that, and it's going to work the same for all the people on the server that want to do nether technium at some point. So yeah, now that we have 4 nether technium, we actually only need 3, but we can grab ourselves the market, which I thought I had placed down below, but I don't. And we can buy ourselves the ores that we need. So over here, ore nodes, we can buy end crystal ore. We need ancient debris and also nether cobalt. Now that we have the ores, I decided to just throw together the cobalt processing. It's the same as all the other processing we did, so I didn't really feel the need to show it on camera. It's the cobalt clusters being pulverized into the dust, and then the dust being smelted into cobalt ingots. And currently, all the cobalt is going into our alloy processing up top. And then over here on this side, we have the end crystals being currently made and stored in here, which is again going towards the ore processing up top. So we're going to have to wait for these to actually fill up at some point once the alloys up top finish. For the processing of ancient debris clumps, we have to get a little bit more creative and use XNet because the crusher and the enrichment chamber are a bit dumb and can't auto input. They can only auto output. So in the back here, I have set up a controller and a bunch of XNet cables to hook up the miner and also all the drawers and the machines. And now we need to set up the channels to transfer power and to transfer out all the items. What we basically need is one channel for transferring power to the enrichment chamber and the crusher from the ultimate universal cable. Then we need to transfer the clumps from the some machine block, which is the miner, into the correct drawer, which is this guy here on top. And then we have 2 extracts and 2 inputs on the next one. The first one transfers the clumps into the crusher, and then the crusher can auto output them into this frame drawer. This frame drawer is hooked up to this dirty netherite scrap out connector is what I called it. And then we have a dirty netherite scrap input connector, which is basically the output is here, the input is here. So we transfer the dirty netherite scrap from this drawer to this drawer, basically. And then we need to transfer it from the top drawer and insert it into the enrichment chamber, which can then auto output it into here. And that means that we can now easily have level limiters with redstone control. And I set it to 2000. I don't know if that's going to be enough for what we need. We don't really need redstone control for this guy on the left, but I set it up anyway because it's going to stop the machine from running eventually. So the netherite scrap is now being accumulated because we're not producing cobalt, I assume, fast enough to process in here to turn it into hepatizin and manulin. And I think it's going like once it goes in here, once it goes in here, possibly. Yeah, we make a little bit of manulin and possibly a little bit of hepatizin. But once we get to 2000 of each, everything is going to start backing up anyway. Now that we have access to unlimited lumium ingots, we can start turning those into lumium gears, which are then used to craft resonant integral components, which are the upgrade to the current reinforced integral components that we have in all of our machines. So we can now slowly but surely go through all of the machines, which I will do in between episodes, and upgrade them to the maximum tier, which is going to drain a bit more power, but it's going to increase the machine's speed significantly. And while we're setting up lumium gears, I'm going to set up electrum, copper, and invar gears as well, because those are basically the 4 gears that are left out of these 4 that we need to make and have always in the system. The copper ones we use to craft like multi-servo presses and pulverizers. The invar ones are for induction smelters, and then the electrum ones are used to make the machine frames, these guys, machine casings, and also redstone flux cells if we need those at some point. But the machine casings are then used to make the machine frames and so forth to the steel casing. Now that we also have ultimate technium fully automated, we can start upgrading our thermogenerators slowly but surely to the next tier, which is going to be the blazing thermogenerator, which produces 100 Fe per tick. And if we toss it back here, we should see it produce 280. And this guy's producing 196. Okay, yeah, so it's just like times 100. Okay, that's cool. We had basically just enough ultimate technium to upgrade all of our thermal generators, so now we're going to be producing a whole bunch more power. And for some reason, some of these... Oh yeah, I think water is slowly being transferred. Yeah, I think I need to set up the rate here. Yeah, 5,000. Go faster. I think it should go faster. Yeah, these are now producing power. Should be good, I think. The other item that we need for our resonant integral components is hardened glass, and I decided to toss it in this room where we have our dielectric paste and glass and stuff. So the hardened glass is made with obsidian, sand, and quartz dust, and it's a simple export bus, storage bus, level emitter automation with an auto input, auto output on the induction smelter. Super easy and neat. We've had this TechBuck automation set up in the past, and this time around we can fit everything into a 3x3 because of XNet. The reason that we can fit everything into a 3x3 is that these advanced item recyclers need to have extracts on the bottom, and XNet can do that for us. And apparently if I click into these, the connector shows back up. Interesting. Okay, it's just a visual glitch. Anyway, basically, what we are doing here in the controller, if you want to go through all of this jumble, you can pause it over here and you can see what everything is pretty much doing. But basically, we are extracting cobble out of the igneous extruder up here, which is upgraded to the max with the resonant integral components, which means that it makes 4 cobble at a time. We extract the cobble into this drawer, and then we extract the cobble into all of the recyclers. We extract the scrap into this drawer, and then we extract the scrap into the scrap box, and everything that it makes goes into here, plus a trash can down here in the back. Which means that over here is the cobblestone extract, then we extract the cobble into all of the recyclers, then we extract out of the recyclers into the scrap drawer, we then extract the scrap into the 2 machines, and then we extract out of the 2 machines and insert into the TechBucks drawer, and everything else goes into the trash can because of this insert with a lower priority than this one. And that brings us to the end of today's episode, so I want to thank you all so much for watching. I am really hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to smash the like button, and you can also subscribe to get notified of when new videos go live, and you can support me on Patreon as well if you want to play with me on this very server, and I will see you all in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.